Welcome to Ken's Corner Podcast, Season 3. Get ready for expert analysis and rising wrestling stars. Now here we go with your host, Ken Judge.
Hey everyone, I'm back on Ken's Corner, and I got a funny guy here today, my first ever comedian. Always goes through the Yuk Yuk's tours. He's going to actually share a bit. You'll be able to see it on our ticker below in his upcoming shows. Let's introduce first my friend from Nova Scotia. You might know him from Sports Chatter in the Leaf Fan Panel, but he's here to help me introduce and co-host his friend Paul Haywood. Thank you, sir, Paul, for coming on to this show today. It's all my pleasure. Ian, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can start this interview today for us.
Fantastic. Right. Paul, how are you today?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, so I met Paul. Paul and I were introduced to each other in the summer of '93.
Yeah.
And so I can brag a little bit about my friend that he's been a working comic since then. And I first saw him at a little place called Clinton's, I think it was, on Clinton Avenue and Bloor Street in Toronto. There was maybe 6 of us there, but boy, we all laughed. And I mean, the stories that he can tell you, he's a typical Torontonian, a boy from Scarborough, so you know he knows how to run.
Yeah.
I love him. I call him my brother. Without a doubt, I call his son my nephew. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Haywood.
Well, thank you, Ian. Awesome to be here. Great to be on the air with you boys. Yeah, I've met Ian in '93. We had a little sketch troupe called Several Butcher's Aprons.
Right.
And we actually played the Elma Combo.
That's right. Now, we did play the Elma Combo, where the Rolling Stones, Elvis Costello, the very famous Elma Combo.
Yeah, it's very famous. Actually, I'm going to cut in a little bit here. Paul, I want to take you back to your early beginnings and what went through you as a young, obviously you're pretty young in 1993. What led you to want to become a comedian?
Well, I knew the summer of grade 8, going into grade 8, that, I was listening to George Carlin. I was, fascinated. That's my guy. Him and Richard Pryor, the 2 twin towers.
I mean, the Mount Rushmore. 2 of them on Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
Like, who else do you need, really? And basically, you okay, buddy? Just grab that and go. So sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
You knew you were going to be a comedian.
Yes, totally right.
Not every boy from Scarborough is like, I'm going to go and do stand-up and be tortured by people.
Yeah, it felt weird. All through, grade 8, I looked forward only to the compositions, reading it in front of the class. And then I just didn't know how to do it. You'd hear the laughter. It's like, how's he doing that? How did he do that? And it wasn't until just about 87, the Hurricane Gilbert ravaged Jamaica, and there was a benefit show at the school, YMCA, and I signed up. I had no clue what I was doing. I did some George Carlin material. I did a couple of my own jokes. I was holding my own for a good solid 48 seconds, boys, and then they started to throw pennies and super charming stuff like that. It wasn't until '92 where I was at Yuk Yuk's. It was 21st birthday. Signed up, went down. I had Beastie Boys tickets in my back pocket for later that night.
Which show? Varsity Stadium or the
Varsity Stadium?
I was at that show, Paul. But anyway, yeah.
Oh my God. So I'm on stage. The only memories I have are of the floor. Right, I was just staring at the carpet. It was a lovely purple carpet with about a mile of, mic cord. I, bombing my ass off, but just, trudging through it. I had no idea what I'm doing. And then some guy at the back goes, "You suck." And from somewhere, I just kind of said, "Actually, I don't do requests. Are you talking to me or the guy under your table?" kind of thing.
Right.
And then I shocked myself. I was like, what did I just do? And that was the spark.
Yeah.
And then after that, 94, hitting the open mics. 96, I took a bus out to Calgary. Never do that.
It's a long bus ride. Man.
Oh, 52
Wow.
hours. You don't get
I've
it
done
back.
it before. I've done it before. I understand.
Oh.
So my cousin, part of my family lives in Calgary, and my cousin was like, "Come on out. You can work the yucks out here. I could get on amateur night, no problemo then." And I opened up for a lot of headliners going through.
Amazing.
I did the BC run, which is like the Kootenays and Cranbrook and Trail and Nelson and
Beautiful
Where are you
country.
playing? Where are you
Oh.
playing in these places, Paul? Are you playing in comedy clubs? Or are you playing at the Legion? Like, where are you playing?
Oh, a wide variety.
Yeah, no, there was a couple of clubs, a couple one-nighters, in smaller hotel. There's a hotel right in Cranbrook. I forget what it's called, but
Any
basically
place that would have a hockey team, right?
hockey
Prince
team.
George.
Yeah,
Yeah, the hotel
yeah.
where they could have a hockey team is where you're playing.
yeah. Oh, completely right. And supporting. Yeah, it's always hockey. Tons of it. I often will stand there on stage, and they have their jerseys up around any kind of hockey benefit kind of thing, and they have their jerseys up, and I'm like, hey, you guys need a broken down goalie or what? What do you think? So funnier it gets if it's a girls team or a tiny tots. It's like, I'll stand in there. These guys are all 4 foot nothing. I'm like, yeah, I'll be your
And
Ken
Paul,
Dryden
how
for
tall
you.
are you? How tall are you?
6'4".
Oh,
Ian,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Paul, 1 second, if you don't mind. Ian, I want to take you back now
yeah.
to the day your friend Paul Haywood said, Ian, I think I want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
What was your thought that went through your head?
This is how long ago it was, Ken, that Paul and I both had hair down to about here. Okay, that's how long ago it was. I met him through another friend, sort of a friend of a friend. And he came over because we were trying to put together a comedy troupe. So for my end, Paul was already a comedy guy, and I was introduced to him as, hey, this guy is funny. But we never had an audition. It wasn't like that. There's this great cafe in Toronto called Future Bakery, and we sat out at the patio and had pints. And it was clear that not only were we going to be in this group together, that we were probably going to be best friends for life. And the dude that introduced us, he was sort of pushed to the side pretty quickly.
Yeah, third wheel happens, right? Third wheel always happens like
Always.
that sometimes, right?
Bye.
Especially as children.
Yeah.
So I knew he was just a hilarious person, but not just because he was funny, Ken, but because he had a great sense of humor as well. And I don't know if you found this with people that are often funny, they don't laugh. They're very cynical about laughing. Paul laughs all the time, and he's a great laugher. So he's terrific to be around in that he just loves people and loves comedy.
Yeah, 100%. And that cafe was kind of a mecca for a lot of artists. There was some big dude. There was the singer from Lowest of the Low always would mill about, and we're just like, hey, is that Ron?
It's Ron Hawkins.
That's him.
Yeah, it's Ron.
And I had, you could just sit there and write, and no one bothered you really.
A different time. It's hard to describe because pre-internet and certainly pre this thing,
yeah,
we did things like sat around and drank coffee and wrote in notebooks.
Yeah.
It's a very, I don't know how sort of someone today would find themselves, as it were. I don't know if they get to go up in a mic and bomb because this is their protector.
Correct. It's a real tether, and you really don't get the sense. I don't know if this generation will ever get the sense of having just being tetherless like that. I made a little joke about myself on stage, looking at my phone where the set list was, and I just kind of like everybody I do a show with is easily 20 years younger. It's bizarre, but I picked up the phone. And I'm just like, I'm just looking at my set list.
Kids, it used to be on paper. You see,
Yeah, that's right.
It's in the trees.
Boomer.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Listen, we're all
Yeah.
fathers to young men from 9 to 18 here in this group. So I
Yeah.
often look at my son and their friends in that generation and think, how do you want to be anything? Do you even see a track towards that? I don't know if someone
Yeah.
wants to be a comedian today, as opposed to
Yeah.
a jokester or hey, it's a prank,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It's something else. I mean, yeah, like coming up like that, at that time,
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty special stuff.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Paul, I want to ask you before I allow Ian to actually introduce you for an impromptu show here today and show the people a little bit about what Paul Haywood is. But my question is, as a comedian, when did it start to turn towards maybe you're a sports comedian?
I've always, yeah, I played on some rep teams, baseball, hockey, did track a lot in high school. Anything that, frankly, could get me into the house.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best time, and I always noticed that I could make these people laugh, not just my own age, but adults and that kind of stuff, all through sports. I had the gallows humor going at track and field. A guy came up to me just before the relay. I ran relay, and he's just like, "Yo, white guy. Wow, yeah, the 1500. It's this afternoon." And I'd just be looking at him, going, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick butt in that too. I'll see you there." Yeah,
He went to school in Scarborough. They're Jamaicans up there, man. You were up the only white guy in your team, right?
Yeah. So a funny story, they'd always I ran first, the first leg, and they would always be like, we reach the Ontarios, and he'd be like, Paul, any one of these teams here, you could anchor. Yes, but for us, you start. Right?
Right, man.
And then I do something like, well, I'll go anchor one of them right now. I'll go anchor Halliburton. How's that for you? Oh, no, you don't be crazy.
No, you're not leaving our team. Awesome.
But yeah, humor was a lifesaver all the way through, and continues to be my mechanism, my outlet. It's just a matter of developing and refining and getting the at-bats, constant at-bats.
That's really what it is. It's like playing a guitar. I mean, you know the chord, but you got to play that chord a million times before you don't even have to look at the guitar to play it.
100%, 100%. And when you're doing stand-up, it's kind of like baseball in terms of, Hall of Famers hit the ball, 30% of the time. And when you first start out, you're swinging and missing a lot, a lot. But you don't learn anything when you're killing.
Yeah.
Zero. Right. You always do all your learning when you're bombing your ass off. And you got to be resilient. You got to believe. And you can't just, I'm funny, I should do stand-up. But it's just like anything else. Right. Work ethic, right? And
that makes a lot of sense to me, Paul. I grew up a baseball player, so yeah, I fell on my butt quite a few times. Times.
Oh, you have to, right? You have to.
You're trying to pick up a curveball for the first time, and you're just kind of letting it go. What was that? Like, right. It's just kind of a, but definitely around that time, I was looking to do any function at the school. I was looking to get my my comedy in there. I got the one big definer at high school still. Check this out. So my father was VP at my high school.
Wow. You better have a sense of humor.
So 2,200 kids, 3 VPs. Ooh, he was one of those.
Right.
And I would I got up on I auditioned for the Christmas assembly. That was the big gig. And I got in, and I'm just making fun of the staff to start. It was all my own material at that point.
Awesome.
And I was about 18, almost 19. And all the VPs would come out and they were like, well, we're not going to start the assembly until you guys move up. So move up. That'd be great. And I said, the grade 9s are afraid of these people. Yeah, we'll move up right away. I could get sent back to grade 8. I'm going to move up. Yeah.
Right.
And the grade 12s are like, you know what? This guy's going to waste some time. I'm going to miss algebra and English, and then it's lunch. So I'm not moving anywhere, actually. So
Yeah.
the one VP, I was like, does he do that for Christmas dinner? It's just like, Uncle Larry, there's some space in the driveway there. Can you move up? We'll wait.
No doubt, right? No
Just
doubt.
kind of, but just simple stuff. And then, you develop from there.
One thing I've
Awesome.
always really admired about your comedy, Paul, is that you're not like crass.
No,
You're not crass. You don't use F words for the sake of using F words. In fact,
Yeah.
I've seen you do sets where you're not actually swearing and you don't work blue at all. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that you're family oriented, because that certainly brings you down from punk rock status to soft rock, but
Right.
you could bring some people to see you and I don't think you'd be embarrassed as a parent.
No, exactly. And I was told coming up that if you want to make some money, work clean.
Yeah.
It's fun to do all these dirty jokes in the club. Mark Breslin, to his credit, let us go. Whatever
Right.
you want to talk about, there's no censorship. But if you want to get paid later on,
Mm.
it's just like everything else. It's like, I got a fastball. Do you have a curveball? Do you have a
Yeah.
slider? Do you have a changeup? You need all this stuff, and they got to be plus pitches, or why are you here? Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
So
Thank you for bringing it back into a sports
yeah,
knowledge for people here, because we are a sports show, and the people that watch this show we can understand what you're saying when you use a sports analogy. I appreciate that, Paul.
Yeah.
But we're here for a reason, and I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to turn it over to my friend Ian, and I'm going to get Ian to introduce Mr. Paul Haywood.
All righty.
Here's something for our sports fans. Paul was once in a commercial that debuted during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. True.
Okay,
True
so
story.
there's some wonderful sports. Paulie, I'm just going to hand it to you. Do what you do best. If you can just lay in, give us a couple of minutes of laughs.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start off here. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, I haven't done a Zoom show in a while, so it's interesting. All right. So usually I'd say, do we have any proud Canadians in here? Do you have proud Canadians? And they kind of go nuts, and I'm like, oh, that's great. The Olympic fans. The Olympic fans.
Yeah.
Olympics are coming up, man. Get ready. It's exciting now because we're not crap. We used to be crap. Remember when we were crap? We didn't do anything, and quite frankly, that's the way we liked it. Be out in your driveway, water in the driveway, just kind of minding your own business. The neighbor comes over and says, hey, did you hear? Hear what? Canada. Oh, God, what happened? No. Gold. Canada. Come on. Did he pee in the bottle yet? Or, maybe wait a couple of days. I don't know. Don't get so excited. Canadians, now we have an amazing Olympic recruiting program where how it works is when you're coming to Canada for the first time, if we discover that you've got any kind of high level athletic ability, well, God, you were never from anywhere else. We're just going to claim you forever. Daniel Agali won a gold medal for wrestling. Daniel Agali, he's from here. Good Canadian kid, that Agali. Yeah, he's from Nigeria Falls, Ontario. Pretty sure. Either that or Sault Ste. Africa. One of those two has got to be right. But I'm an Olympic nut, though. I love my favorite events, race walking, by far. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's not the most macho sport in the world. They should call it bitchy queen snit racing. You get a big enough screen, flat screen TV, the guy's coming right into your living room. So it's so macho, just coming right at you. You can almost hear him. I heard what you said. I wish I could run, but I'd get disqualified. How'd that work? I don't know. But yeah, I love the Olympics. I'm a Leaf fan too, but I'll tell you, I'm on stress leave from the team. So they
all are.
They got to reach round two before I start watching. Got a lot invested. I've lived through the Mike Nicolak years, for God's sakes. Remember Mike Nicolak? Oh my God. And John Brophy. Hey, let's trade Russ Courtnall for a bag of whatever it is you got. I don't even care. Like, why have talent on the team? Like, just Oh, and as a goaltender, those Leaf teams. Oh my gosh, Yuri Sira. Anybody? Do you remember Yuri Sira? Remember that guy?
Somehow.
Oh my gosh, Tim Bernhardt, Vincent Tremblay, Peter Ing. Oh my boys. Jeez, I recently put together an all Scarborough team. Wayne Simmons. Let's see, Wayne Simmons, Rick Tockett, who my dad actually taught back in the day, and Rick Middleton. Then you got Brian Marchment, Larry Murphy on the back end, and just for fun, Ron Tugnut in net, just for fun. Old Tugger, right? He was a tough little dude, man. Like, remember him for Ottawa, just sitting in there, just kind of kicking him out, like total reactionary. I'm like, I'll take Ron Tugnut. I think Larry might have the puck the whole time, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I love baseball too. I was a huge Dave Stieb fan, massive fan. I wrote an article not too long ago comparing Roy to Dave Stieb, and they were worried that the management was gonna. This is before Roy got traded. Mr. Halliday got traded. I'm talking about, but they were worried that he would get worn out. And my theory was that we've got to use this guy before he becomes the hood ornament that Dave Stieb was back in the day, just kind of tired. But Dave Stieb ate 280 innings gleefully, just and the managers would just say, your arm, yeah, what about it? It's a muscle. So let's use it. I don't know, like your brain and your heart, But what else can I do? I'll do some maritime jokes too. Why not? We could do that. So my mom's whole side's from Newfoundland. I can't wait to get back out there. I don't know if does anybody eat bologna? Clap if your parents didn't love you. I had the bologna with the mac and cheese already in the meat. What kind of white trash convenience is that? Could you not ram a bingo card in there? Is that no? Any restaurant at all, they always ask you in Newfoundland, do you want bologna with that? Do you want bologna with that, my dear? No, never. Just cream and sugar. It's fine.
You better not get it at the Beef Baron, though.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of those jokes.
Tonight.
These are one of those jokes where if you do your homework and you pay attention to what's going on around you, then you've got some opening gold where the other comics are like, where'd you get that from? I'm just like, dude, I opened the window.
Right.
I opened the window. It's right next door. And they're scrambling like ants on that roof trying to fix that AC unit. And they're just running around with tools. Jimmy, come on, let's go. And little gamey in there if the AC cacks out, let's be honest, But the thing just wrote itself. I did it that night, and I think I've done it 2 or 3 other times only.
Really,
But yeah, it's just such a geographical. Everybody in London, they know exactly what the Beef Baron's all about.
I think everyone in Southern Ontario might know the Baron.
Yeah, but I've got jokes on any topic really, and like life, it's clean, it's dirty, just like life. As a performer though, comedy these days, they're punching down, and I don't do that. I consider myself more of a healer that way, and rather than somebody tapping on the glass trying to cause agitation, they're there for a reason to come get some laughs and feel better and forget the problems rather than leave irritated. For me, that's missing the point.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like that in life too, Paulie. As your friend, that's how you are in life as well, bro. Completely.
Actually, Paul, if you could set us up with a few of your upcoming shows that we're going to see on the ticker that people are actually seeing across our ticker. Can you announce maybe a couple of your upcoming ones?
Yeah, for sure. July 26, 27, I'll be at the Halifax Yucks.
Halifax in Nova Scotia?
Why, it's in the Scotia. In the motherland.
There you go, my son.
But what else have we got going? I got some August dates. I'm still waiting to hear back, but I think it's the Oshawa Yucks as well. coming up. I can confirm that, but yeah, everything's focused on Halifax right now.
Oh,
I just played the Burlington Club last weekend. That was a lot of fun.
And Ottawa last week, yes. Ottawa, the week
Ottawa
before.
week before that. It was great. The hotel was right on this executive golf course, so I was kind of, doing commentary, unbeknownst to them, just
nice.
through the window.
Sorry. If you make it to Oshawa, when you do, let me know. Send me a message. I would love to come out and get some selfies together.
Yeah, I'll get you.
Probably that's your part of the world too, isn't it?
It is. It's right around the corner for me. My son's mother lives in Oshawa, so I got a lot of jokes for you about Oshawa. I'll tell you. Hey, before we do go here today, we are getting to the end. Can you let your new fans know where we can find Paul Haywood's material and any social media outlets that you want to share with us here today?
I've got some stuff on YouTube. I'm at Paul Haywood 6715 on Instagram, and
it's
Facebook.
HAYWOOD, right? HAY.
Yeah, totally right. And we're gonna cook up some more stuff with Mr. Ian as well.
Well, in fact, maybe him and his family are staying here whilst he plays Halifax. So
that's
next Sunday, Kenny, you might have two of us sitting right here.
Well, that could be our next sports chatter, the Paul and Ian show live from Nova Scotia.
Actually, I played most of my minor hockey in Port Perry, which is not too far from Oshawa.
That's not far. I'm in Stouffville, so it's not too far for me at all. So awesome. I know that area as well. I grew up in Durham region, so I know the area. So that's amazing. Ian, do you want to take us out here today? And any last questions for your friend Paul Haywood?
Well, Paul, okay. Did you like what the Leafs did this July 1st?
Well, I don't know how they keep ignoring the recipe, right? You have to, you need a Martin Brodeur. You need a stud. You need a stopper. You need to, and go down the middle. Like, who are your centers? Where's Matt Sundin exactly?
Yeah, we need Matt's back.
I just, I think it was more of a sideways move. We'll see. I don't
Excited
know.
by Berube coming into coach.
Berube for sure. I'm hoping for like a Pat Quinn type resurgence. Remember in '98 he came in, and what did he do? Well, he brought Curtis Joseph with him, like in his handbag, kind of a thing, and suddenly they just exploded. The guys can relax.
Be surprised by our 1A and B. If Wall stays healthy, this is a pretty good tandem.
Yeah.
I mean, Stollers is the real deal. If he can give us 30 games and Wall stays healthy,
we're
laughing, boy. We're laughing.
Yeah. And I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I would go ahead. We only have a couple of minutes here, but we'll save some of this for next Sunday. But
for sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Make your last comment here before we sign off.
Oh yeah, no, I think Solars is sounding pretty confident. Happens when you're in that Stanley Cup glow, I suppose. But his numbers are pretty frightening for the good. He's up around the 930s. So
he's a big boy like you. He covers a lot of net.
Yeah, he's 6'6". Definitely.
I mean, that's a big fella.
Yeah.
I'm actually Kerry Lettonen's height and weight.
Oh yeah.
I'm Darren Pang, so F off.
Before we do sign off, I do want to say I kind of agree with you. I'm up and down about what the Leafs done so far this year. I think there's still more coming, and but I am more excited than I am about say the Toronto Blue Jays or the Toronto Raptors. Although I like RJ Barrett, I do like that.
Sure.
I'm sorry, we do have to sign off here today, guys.
No worries.
My name's Ken, and we're here on Ken's Corner, and we're here with my friend Ian from Sports Chatter and Leaf Fan Panel fame, and our special guest, Mr. Paul Haywood. Find him on YouTube. Go watch him at Yuk Yuk's. Follow this guy. He's a funny dude. And thank you so much for being my first comedian here today, Paul.
Loved it.
Oh, Ken,
Loved
thanks
it.
thanks for my suggestion. And like, this is my best boy, so I
Love
couldn't
to
be
come back.
happier to see the two of you on my screen together.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to come back anytime. I got I'll have more once we get this flood behind
Blood,
us.
sham wow, Paulie, sham wow.
And maybe we'll just let you start right from the start of the podcast and go straight through for a full show.
Let him just go.
Sure.
Ian, go to
Absolutely.
Halifax, tape them, send it
I
to me.
will.
We'll get it on here.
100%, buddy.
That's something we can do. Thank you
Yep.
so much, boys. Hey, Paul, you're more than welcome to join Ian this Sunday on Sports Chatter. We would love to have you and your
That'd be
input on our show that day.
That would be
Thank you so
fun.
much, guys.
Thanks, Ken, as usual, buddy.
Thanks so much.